would like to retest this 42 to confirm that what was support is now resistance, and that's where we stand. So this is doable today. That's like 10 points away. That's no big deal. Got a high at 27, got a high of 30, got a low volume number right up here at 31. That last rotational high was 30.75, so 25 to 30 is resistance. Getting stops above the overnight session will get us past 27. Getting stops above the preceding, the previous high at 30.75 would get stops, would take us to above 31. So this 27 to plus to 31 plus is where I see best resistance. If we can't get through this level right here, it's pretty easy to turn seller to see if we can test the 15 area. So stops below 15 I think are doable. Stops above 27 are doable. I think we have a trading range market with an upward bias based on the latest solution out of the EU, and we'll see what happens. So the sell would be failure at 27 to 31, which would put our first sell in that 25 to 27 area. Second sell would be in the 29 to 31 area on the assumption they can get stops above 31. Then you got to crack 15 to stay with the trade. First buy will be 13 to 15, allowing them to probe the overnight sessions low but not take it out. Second buy would be 9 to 11, and all predicated on a trading range assumption for today's market. Taking a quick look at the F4 screen. Okay, one of the things that everyone needs to appreciate about trading range markets is that they'll push the edge of the preceding day's trading range, and one side will come out, and it basically, what happens when we look at markets usually move sideways when you get right down to it, but they're plus a little, they're minus a little as the market kind of goes back and develops value. And what we do as traders is that we get really, really excited when they make a new high or a new low, and we get loaded for bear. And the market just kind of gets into this area. They get a lot of people short, and it comes right back up. And what has not changed is that the current fundamentals and the rest of it basically are, this is fair valuation for the market, and this is where we are. And we can go up and down a little bit, but the news really hasn't changed, and that's where we find ourselves right now today. So it's really, we're retesting the upper edge of resistance right now, or close to it. I don't know if we can get through 30. My guess is that it's close enough that they will make a run for stops above that. And then 42 to 46 would be the next sell band above that structurally. So what do we have as traders this morning coming in? We've got basically a round number at 25. We do get above it, and what do we get in this area up here? We've had like 1, 2, 3 impulses up. We get our M pattern. We're above 25, so selling when we break that bar's low right there is the trade, and the trade is at least to trade back to the value area high. And with a bit of luck, we can make it back to the mean green line. And that's pretty much what happened. And your setup or trigger for this is that right here on that bar, after that, the cumulative selling starts to increase. So somebody is distributing paper in this 26-27 area. And we'll key off of this number and see how far they can take it today. The 15 to 17, 13 to 15 area comes at the value area low. The 25 to 27 comes at the second standard deviation. We'll see how the market develops. Now, for us as traders, what are the wayposts or the mileposts as we come down? First is the value area high. The market breaks it, comes down here. What does it trade up to? The value area high. It holds. Then it comes down and hits the mean green line. Okay, the Reg makes an interesting comment there. Well, they didn't make an announcement before the market closed. The evening newspapers in London printed a story from undisclosed sources that the European Rescue Fund had been increased from 700 billion euros to 2 trillion euros. So, and then the officials denied that story. So that's the way that it came out. So we're in time. You know, stories will get going. An undisclosed source. I believe. You know, I've heard that they're talking about this number, and he'll give it to a reporter. You can't use my name, but they're talking about increasing the Euro Rescue Fund from 700 billion to 2 trillion. That's how those stories get going. And all of the financial reporters have sources inside the bureaucracy, in the ministerial level, in the ministerial aides throughout the entire EU and throughout each country's financial ministry. So that's how those stories get going. So, you know, you got to have something for the evening edition, and that type of news sells. Get your paper read. So that's where we are, and we'll see what we have right now. If we fail on the way up to get through, we got a pretty clean break right here in the 22 area. So if we fail when we come back up to breach this 23-25 area, that would give us a pretty strong signal that we're headed lower to test support. And yesterday's late rally needs some retracement. That late rally started at 1208, and then the last low was 1212. So 1208 to 1212 is where the rumor hit yesterday, and I think the market's got a chance to get down there sometime today. The Bilderbergers, I'm sure, are behind this, or the Federal Reserve, or whoever else is at the base of all these rumors that we get. But everybody has this. I have friends that are just absolutely convinced that they is doing something to them. They, you know, some conspiracy. And 3 people can keep a secret if 2 of them are dead. And it's just, you don't need a conspiracy for more government control and takeover and top-down management. Every damn bureaucrat and politician in the world is working 24/7 for that. You don't need a conspiracy run by the Fed to control your currencies and trying to control situations outside of your waters. Every central bank in the world is working on the same basis and foundation. So they just naturally, their interests naturally coalesce together, and we see these big trends promulgated by these different various entities, and we say they're all working in concert. But they don't have to be working in concert. It's just their job to make sure they have more power at the close of business today than they had this morning. So I used to see stuff when we were working on clandestine operations, and I was supporting those when I was in the military. It was unbelievable, the stories that you would see come out about who was doing what to whom and why. And then eventually, over time, you could piece together what actually happened, but the stories would run wild. It's just kind of human nature. Who doesn't like a good rumor? Anyway, I'll be quiet right now, and we'll go to work now and see what happens.